In today's tragically short episode, we're discussing Hasan Minhaj rebutting the New Yorker's article stating he faked his stories, the year's most deadly shooting went down in Maine, and the House Representatives finally elected a speaker. What's up, everyone? So it's super late while I'm recording this, and it's been a busy week of work, so I have nothing to add right now. Alice, let's just jump into it.
Comedian Hasan Minhaj has come out and responded to the New Yorker article stating he was faking his stories. The video is a 21-minute deep dive where Hasan addresses the allegations and provides his own set of receipts.
Alright, so get this. Hasan Minhaj, the host of Netflix's Patriot Act, wasn't having the New Yorker's accusations, so he clapped back with an entire PowerPoint presentation, and the man came prepared with receipts. Quick refresh, the New Yorker published an article saying Hasan embellished his stories for stand-up specials, going so far as to fact-check his jokes. Now, Hasan focused on three main stories: his prom rejection due to race, the FBI informant, and the anthrax scare. Amongst the evidence he brought to the table, we were given emails, texts, and some video clips. While he admits to taking some creative liberties, he argues the core of these stories are true. And I quote, "In political comedy, facts come first. In comedic storytelling, emotions come first." Even Jon Stewart would nod in agreement to that line. But get this, Hasan also claims the New Yorker article was misleading and left out facts that he had given them, showing us emails where he specifically mentioned the racial aspect of the prom story to the reporter, sort of making you wonder who's fact-checking the fact-checkers. Now let's discuss how this was handled. On the upside, his response is a masterclass in crisis management. I'm gonna guess he's in the running for the Daily Show's new host spot, but that's just me. Anyways, he's transparent, apologetic when warranted, and provides the receipts. It's like the complete opposite of how a politician would respond. But yes, you could argue that embellishing these kind of racially charged stories could undermine others who have gone through similar struggles. So what can we take away from this whole situation? Well, Hasan, like any other performer, uses his art to convey emotional truths. Does he exaggerate? Sure. But let's remember, he's a comedian, not a politician. Full disclosure, I like Hasan. I understand why everyone's mad, but as of right now, unless more information comes to light, I'm on his side. Because you see, storytelling in comedy is like a Swiss Army knife. It's got all the tools. Laughs, drama, suspense, and more importantly, reliability. When Hasan talks about the prom rejection and race, he's not just sharing a story, he's shining a light on discrimination many people face, myself included. High school can be a bitch when you're one of 13 colored kids. And this was in sunny Southern California, so it happens everywhere. Hasan's goal clearly was to make us all feel what he felt. He's not trying to dupe us, he wants us to walk in his shoes, even if those shoes are a bit exaggerated for laughs. And let's be honest, who doesn't spice up their stories? I'm looking at you, Dad. If I told you how my day went, you'd be snoring faster than a toddler in a rocking chair. Office work is not sexy, people. So next time you hear a comedian tell a tale, remember, they're not just going for laughs, they want you to think. They're taking complex, often uncomfortable, topics and making them digestible with humor, drama, and, most importantly, like I said, reliability. And in today's polarized world, we need that more than ever. At least, that's my take. What do you think? Is storytelling and comedy a powerful tool for social change? Or mere entertainment? Sound off in the comments.
At least 18 people were killed in a mass shooting in Lewiston, Maine, with 13 others injured. The suspect, Robert Card, is still at large. The shooting took place in two locations: a bowling alley and a local bar.
Okay, so just to highlight, the suspect, Robert Card, is still very much at large after Wednesday's events. Card's white Suburban was found abandoned southeast of Lewiston in Lisbon. Inside, police recovered a firearm which is now being tested to determine if it was used in the shootings. A supposed self-ending note from Card was also found at his home, addressed to his son and containing disturbing rants along with personal financial details. The locations of the shooting tell a heartbreaking story. A children's bowling league was underway when the shots rang out in the bowling alley. Shots were also taken at a local bar. Among the victims were a youth coach, a bar manager, and members of the local deaf club playing games together. The shooting has now taken the lead for the deadliest one this year, which I don't know if we want to celebrate that, but yeah. Here we are. Anyways, the search continues for Card, who owns property and a boat nearby. Over 350 law enforcement personnel are searching by land, air, and sea, being assisted by the FBI, who's looking into Card's potential mental health and online activity. While the motive remains unclear, his online writings indicate an obsession with conspiratorial ideas, extreme stances on issues like financial collapse, LGBTQ rights, gun rights, and democratic officials. A history of psychiatric problems is also being examined. President Biden and Vice President Harris have voiced their reactions, with Biden urging congressional Republicans to pass gun reform and Harris pointing to Australia's reform in 1996 over mass shootings. But Will this be enough to drive real change in the wake of this tragedy? How many lives are going to be cut short before we do anything about this? Nearby Gates College remains on lockdown, sheltering students as the community rallies to support the victims. The owners of the bowling alley and the bar have also released heartfelt statements. So if you're out there and you see this man, call the cops immediately.
Our last story is a significant one from Capitol Hill. Mike Johnson, a Republican from Louisiana, has been elected as the new Speaker of the House. This ends 3 weeks of political chaos following the historic ousting of Representative Kevin McCarthy.
All right, so they got a thing done. Now the Republican Party has elected a relatively inexperienced figure as their new House Speaker, Representative Mike Johnson of Louisiana. If you don't know who he is, you're in company with basically every single correspondent out there. I've never heard of this man in my life, which, as a politician, I gotta respect. Keep it low profile. Good for you, dude. Good for you. Take those rights away from right under our noses. Top tier politician and right there, people. The sarcasm hurts. Johnson managed to secure the votes of all 220 GOP members to clinch the speakership. While Johnson doesn't have any prior leadership experience, he now faces the immense challenge of unifying his divided party and avoiding a looming government shutdown. The decision to appoint Johnson, a member of the ultra-conservative House Freedom Caucus, represents a risky move for Republicans. Johnson holds views on the extreme right of the GOP. He's described abortion as a Holocaust and spent years working for a Christian legal group against LGBTQ rights. His election signals a concerning lurch towards the ideological extreme for House Republicans. Johnson's past rhetoric seems out of step with most Americans. During the speakership vote, Minnesota's Democratic Representative Angie Craig called out Johnson's history on the floor. And it turns out some Republicans are even uncomfortable with his divisive views. While he did manage to rally the troops for this crucial vote, it remains uncertain if he could maintain this unity going forward. His lack of leadership experience combined with his polarizing policy positions could lead to an unstable tenure as Speaker. In summary, Johnson's accent highlights the deep division within the Republican Party. While his speakership may appeal to the far-right fringe, it risks alienating moderate voters going forward. Managing a restless GOP caucus and advancing the party's agenda will likely prove a difficult task for the inexperienced Johnson, but only time will tell. He could be the best speaker we've ever had. You never know. Now, I had to help my mother with some paperwork in the middle of all this writing and recording, and it ran on a little longer than it should. So, sorry about the super short episode today, but I will make sure next time we've got a full episode for you. So don't come at me with hate. I love everybody here in this little corner of the internet we're making for ourselves. So, until next time I see you, stay weird, stay safe, and I'll see you on Monday.